हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू माय चैनल कोड विथ मी। इस वीडियो में हम बेसिक जावा पढ़ने वाले हैं। किसी भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज की हमें हमारे बेसिक्स उस प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज के स्ट्रॉन्ग होने चाहिए, हमारे बेसिक कंसेप्ट्स। तो ये हमारा इंट्रोडक्शन होगा टू जावा कि जावा क्या है, उसके कौन कौन से उसके रूल्स हैं, उसके वेरिएबल्स को लिखने के लिए एंड वेरीज अदर थिंग्स। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। सबसे पहले अगर आपसे कोई पूछे कि प्रोग्रामिंग क्या होती है, तो आप व्हाट यू कैन आंसर इज प्रोग्रामिंग इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ क्रिएटिंग अ सेट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस दैट टेल अ कंप्यूटर हाउ टू परफॉर्म अ टास्क। बेसिकली ये एक प्रोसेस होता है इन विच वी क्रिएट अ सेट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस. It instructs the computer, it tells the computer that how we need to perform a particular task. तो उसमें हम कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं. बेसिकली वो इंस्ट्रक्शंस हमारा कोड होता है जो हम कंप्यूटर को देते हैं, फिर वो कंप्यूटर हमारा वो टास्क को परफॉर्म करवाता है. हम अगला देखें तो अगर डेटा स्ट्रक्चर का एग्जैक्ट डेफिनेशन क्या है, तो डेटा स्ट्रक्चर इज़ बेसिकली अ नेम्ड लोकेशन दैट कैन बी यूज टू स्टोर एंड ऑर्गेनाइज डेटा. There are many types of data structures like arrays, strings, stack, queue, linked list, trees, graph. Data structures are two types, linear and non-linear type. In your linear data structures, arrays, strings, stacks, queue, linked list, these are some data structures that comes in linear form, and non-linear forms are trees and graph. Okay. Then after that, what is an algorithm? Algorithm is the collection of steps to solve a particular problem. So we have done with these three basic definitions, that what is programming, what is a data structure, and what is an algorithm. After that, we will move on to programming paradigms. There are three types of programming paradigms. One is procedural programming, other is functional programming, and the third one is object-oriented programming. Procedural programming is a programming which consists of a set of procedures. प्रोग्रामिंग पैराडाइम में हम ज़्यादा डीप में नहीं जाएंगे, हमें बस बेसिक पता होना चाहिए कि हमारे कितने टाइप्स ऑफ पैराडाइम्स होते हैं और क्या क्या है, कौन कौन सी लैंग्वेजेस कौन से पैराडाइम में लाइक करते हैं. तो प्रोसीजर प्रोग्रामिंग में हमारा सी आता है, बेसिक, पास्कल, बेसिक एंड पास्कल. फंक्शनल प्रोग्रामिंग क्या है हमारी? इट कंटेन्स ओनली प्योर फंक्शंस. There are only functions in this type of programming paradigm. There is no set of procedures or something like this. So it is a functional programming. That type of programming will be called a functional programming. And the third one and the most important one is the object-oriented programming. In this, the data is organized in the form of classes and objects. This is a main definition which you should always remember, that data is represented in the form of classes and objects. इस प्रोग्रामिंग पैराडाइम में हम डेटा को क्लास बना के, ऑब्जेक्ट बना के हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, रादर दैन मेकिंग फंक्शंस एंड प्रोसीजर. ऑब्जेक्ट्स हमारे रियल वर्ल्ड एंटिटीज़ होती हैं और क्लास एक यूज़र डिफाइंड ब्लूप्रिंट होता है. जैसे कि हमारा फ्रूट्स हो गए, तो फ्रूट्स हमारी एक क्लास होगी और उसके अलग अलग ऑब्जेक्ट्स क्या हो सकते हैं. हमने मैंगो दे दिया, ऑरेंज, दीज आर दी ऑब्जेक्ट्स ऑफ दिस क्लास. कार, हमने कार नाम की क्लास बना दी, उसके ऑब्जेक्ट डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ कार, लैम्बोर्गिनी, फरारी, ऑल्टो, different types of car. And the examples are the C++ and Java. These both are the object-oriented programming languages. Now we will come what is the main difference between C++ and Java. C++ is your platform dependent and Java is your platform independent. This is one of the main foremost difference between these two programming languages. Now we will go into something little bit of detail, that what happens in C++ and what happens in Java. This is the something kind of what happens in the CPU. Like whatever in C++, whatever code we are writing, that is a source code, and the extension for saving the C++ code, we save the file or the program which we have written by extension .cpp. Then that source code goes to the compiler compiles the code, and then the compiler converts that source code into a machine code. And machine code is what? A machine code is a machine language that is understand that is understood by the computer. Since we all know that computers understand the language of zeros and ones, by .exe की फाइल बनती है. Therefore that our the code which is compiled by the compiler, the machine code, it is hardware dependent. Okay, so therefore the C++ is a platform dependent. When what platform we are performing our code, we are running a code, be it Windows, be it Linux, be it iOS, it depends. And what happens in Java? In Java source code, our programs are, it is saved by the extension .java, and then it is compiled, and the compiler is a Java compiler. And then the source code is not directly converted to the machine code. First it gets converted into the bytecode, and bytecode extension is your dot class. After being converted from the source code to the bytecode, it gets converted into the machine code. The JVM, Java Virtual Machine, converts it to the machine code. Okay, therefore this is platform independent. We can see here that Java is platform independent. Java compiled once, runs everywhere, therefore the code is portable. These are some of the properties of Java that one should be knowing. Now what we can say, that where is Java used? We can say that Java is used for mobile app developments. There are many frameworks of Java, like Spring is the framework of Java. Spring Boot is a very famous framework of Java which is used making the Java applications, and Java is used in embedded systems also. Now we will understand our Java architecture. This is the diagram which I have made. We can understand that from this diagram that Java development kit के अंदर हमारे ये दोनों आते हैं, जावा वर्चुअल मशीन, जावा रन टाइम एनवायरनमेंट. सबसे अंदर जो हमारा होता है वो हमारा जावा वर्चुअल मशीन होता है, JVM, and JVM is responsible for converting the bytecode into the machine code. Okay, and then it comes your Java runtime environment, and Java runtime environment is what? It is JVM plus some runtime libraries that makes up the JRE, and this whole kit is known as a JDK. Therefore, this everything should be installed on your system so that the Java code can be compiled successfully. So we will write our first program, that is a hello world program. Whenever we write, we learn any programming language, you always start with this hello world program. We all know that. So let's not get into the deep the syntax of Java, because it is quite complicated, बिकॉज इसमें हमारे कुछ कंसेप्ट लग रहे होते हैं ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग के, जो हम आगे जाके पढ़ेंगे. जावा एक ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड लैंग्वेज है, एंड हमने यहाँ पे क्लास बनाया है, तो ये आपको डिटेल में समझना पड़ेगा आगे चल के. अभी हम बस सिंटैक्स को बेसिक समझ लेते हैं कि क्या होता है. हमें जब भी हमें प्रोग्राम लिखना होता है जावा में, सबसे पहले हमें क्लास बनाते हैं. जैसे कि हमने यहाँ पे हेलो वर्ल्ड जावा नाम का क्लास बना लिया है. उसके बाद हमने यहाँ पे एक फंक्शन बनाया है पब्लिक स्टैटिक वॉइड मेन, और उसमें हमने स्ट्रिंग पास कराई है एंड आर्ग्यूमेंट्स. उसके बाद फिर हमने ओपनिंग ब्रैकेट्स लगाया है, एंड सिस्टम डॉट आउट प्रिंट LN. सिस्टम डॉट आउट प्रिंट इज यूज्ड फॉर प्रिंटिंग, and we have printed the hello world. So whatever you want to print, we need to put it into the double quotes, and then we will compile this code and it will run successfully, and our output will come the hello world. And we should always remember that we should terminate our, like system.out.println, we have put a semicolon here. If you will not put a semicolon, then your code will throw an error. You should always put a semicolon, and you should always close the brackets. How many brackets you have opened, that much the open bracket should be closed also. After that, we can see what are functions. Functions is a block of code that can be called anywhere else in the program. This is a basic definition of a function. Like we had made a function here, int add two numbers, and we have passed in arguments int x and int y. Int is a return value type. If there are many types of variables, we will be studying in the at end of this class, that there are so many types of data types, that is your int, long, boolean, float, double. So int is a return type which will return an integer. That if we are writing this function, we are here we have initialized int at two numbers, int of x and int y. Then your return type should be of int. If you return a boolean variable or a float or a double, then it will show you error. Your return type should be only be integer. So therefore int, and we have named a function add two numbers. Okay, and there's a rule of writing the function name. We need to follow a particular case. For writing the function, we use camel case. Further I will tell you more in detail. After that, we have passed two variables, int, two arguments, int x and int y. Now the thing which we will have studied here, public static void main, we can understand here what exactly it is. Public is the access modifier which will be learning in the object oriented classes, programming classes. Public, it makes the function, main function public every each from the whole code, wherever from wherever we can access this part of the code. Like it's not private, it's not protected, it is public. And then it is